Spoiler alert.
This is a spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, put your fingers in your ears.
Have I finished us off before we ever really got started?
You've pitted yourself against them from the start. How can you retreat from that position?
For Sarah Bunting, she just doesn't like the class system. She sees them as snobbish. She sees them as belittling to say, her class and the classes below them. And Tom has realised now that that's not the case.
You despise the family, but I think you forget my wife was one of them. My child is one of them. Where does that leave me?
Don't you despise them? Really?
No, I don't.
You know, he sees these as people. He doesn't see them as simply levels of and tiers of classes.
But maybe we should call it a day before one of us gets hurt.
And that's something that I think Tom has learnt since Series 1, and he's learnt it through his life throughout Downton.
There are definitely feelings between these two. And they say about the wonderful departure scene in the pouring rain. She says, I wish you'd met me first.
I've loved you, you know. Could have loved you more if you'd let me.
I'm glad we met. You have reminded me of who I am, and I'm grateful. And I won't lose touch with that again.
But I wish we'd met before you ever knew them.
It's a very touching thing when people are in relationships and they know for whatever reason that their future isn't together, but they, in a mature and mutually respectful way, they part company.
I've seen you with your family, ignored and passed over.
None of this is any reason.
I'm glad you're still awake. That scene actually took, I think it was 9 3/4 hours to shoot and lasts probably 22 seconds or something like that. It was exhausting.
Robert, let him go.
You can't be surprised. When you chose to ignore a woman like Cora, you must have known not every man would be as blind as you.
I did actually damage Richard E. Grant in the process. The most sort of slender, elegant gentleman you could ever hope to meet, and the most delightful too. And it was a very unfair contest in terms of, you know, who's squashing who.
Mama? Papa?
So I apologise, Richard, for cracking your rib, but several weeks later he was able to return to normal breathing and did forgive me.
I think that is my exit too.
Wait.
But it was, I think it's a wonderful culmination of that storyline. You sort of hoped that Robert would see sense and defend his woman and bring equilibrium back into the household. But my God, you know, he deserved a few of the things that Mr. Bricker was saying about him. He had taken his eye off the ball and off his wife.
The show is about our family. Wherever they make mistakes with each other, it is our family. And if people from outside come in, whether that's Sarah Bunting or it's Simon Bricker, who come in and try and do mischief within our family, the audience is going to root for the family, and that they are going to root for Robert and Cora. And I would hope that there would be a sort of inward or outward cheer when Robert eventually decides to punch him, however ham-fisted or not that punch is.